you really want to make an impact? Do you really want to be able to feel like you're making a difference in teams and companies and people's livelihood and career? Because that is the main reason why you should be recruiting, and that is the main reason why I continue to be a recruiter today. Hello, and welcome back to another video, and Happy New Year. In this video, we're going to talk about how to become a recruiter in 2024, in case you're curious, with absolutely no experience. If you're excited to learn more about this, please consider giving us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It would really mean a lot. And if you haven't done so, make sure you pick up some recruiter swag and merch just for yourself while supplies still last. Got some epic t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and many more to come. So let's get into it. So a couple things about me, just in case you're unfamiliar with my background. I started my career at a nationwide US staffing firm, quickly became one of the top producers among 300 recruiters nationwide, was able to bill over $500,000 on my own desk with no handouts, and also surpassed $100,000 in a single month all on my own desk with my own clients as well. Shortly after, decided to kind of bet against myself, start my own agency solo recruiting career, and in my first year alone, was able to generate over $500,000 again in my first year alone, which is awesome. Over time till date, we're happy to say we've done multiple seven figures worth of placements to date. Now, just a quick disclaimer, everything I'm about to share is from my own experience, so whether you agree, disagree, that's totally cool. I'm just sharing with you what worked for me. Hope it can give you and your career value. Let's get started. So if you're wondering how to get into recruiting as a career, and you're kind of looking at the industry and the jobs and all the different career tracks for the first time, well, this video is for you. There's roughly 7 steps to consider when making this decision, and I'm gonna go into it. Number 1, you wanna research the industry. Number 2, learn the basics and continue your education. Number 3, understand the different types of recruiter positions. Number 4, identify transferable skills. Number 5, utilize social media and start networking. Number 6, choose between agency, in-house recruiting. And number 7, apply for entry-level roles and get started. So number 1, you want to research the industry. So what do I mean by that? The purpose of this is to really understand the role of a recruiter so that you as a beginner, you're completely aware of what you'll be getting yourself into. If there are required skills or educations you need to obtain, you can set a goal to achieve those things before you even get started. And this can really just help you think about the possible career path that you want to reach as a recruiter. So you want to identify responsibilities, you want to identify the skills, hard skills, soft skills, educational requirements, certification programs, of course the salary, compensation potential, and also your career potential as well. You want to explore the various industry specializations, whether it's like technical recruiting, healthcare recruiting, and also think about on another deeper level, do you want to be more of a generalist or more of a specialist? If you're looking to work at a staffing agency, there are some staffing agencies that recruit across all markets. There are others that focus really on one market or two. And is that something that you want to do? Or if you want exposure to more markets or more roles, that's something you have to think about as well. Hey guys, apologies for the interruption, but want to make an exciting announcement, so listen carefully. If you've been wanting to work and partner directly with me, we are creating for the first time a private community to let you do just that. In this group, you'll be able to access the open roles of my team and of others in the group, so you won't have to worry about not having enough open roles to work on and stabilize your business. Not just that, you'll also have access to accountability calls, trainings, private Discord channels, early access to new exciting stuff, and much more. This is perfect for all types of recruiters: solo recruiters, part-time recruiters, agency owners, full desk. If you are very specialized in one market or niche, or you work outside of the US, don't worry, we got your back. I believe that if you have strong recruiting fundamentals, you can also find tremendous success here as well. Candidates will have more job opportunities, clients will have a stronger pipeline of greater talent, and recruiters will be able to make more consistent placements. It's a no-brainer. So if you're interested, please click on the link below. There will only be a limited number of spots open at a given time, so make sure you act quick. Excited to work with you directly and see you on the other side. So the biggest takeaway here is that in recruiting, you have the option to be a generalist if you want. If you're interested because you're passionate about a certain area to recruit within a specific industry, follow trends in the industry, pain points, and you want to just get a really deep down granular detail of what the market's doing, then maybe it makes more sense to join a more of a specialized camp. A lot of people ask, well, where's a good place to start? You know, go with passion, go with what you know. Recruiting is a sales word. We're going to talk about this a lot more in detail, but the more you know about a certain subject matter, the better you can communicate with the clients or the candidates and talent in that space confidently. So if you have a finance background, maybe think of financial. Maybe if you have healthcare, think of healthcare recruiting. If you have a technical software engineering experience, maybe think of being a technical recruiter, right? All these things that you can do. Also, think about the industry from a top down. So when we say recruiting, we're talking about a lot of different things, but it's really corporate, internal, staffing, or maybe those who are just looking at it to possibly be a solo recruiter like myself, or be entrepreneurial and hopefully one day run your own business and shop. And most importantly, ask yourself why. I think people who are really successful in recruiting, instead of being just completely motivated by finances, is do you have like a bigger why to your decision? Like, do you really want to make an impact? Do you really want to be able to feel like you're making a difference in teams and companies and people's livelihood and career? Because that is the main reason why you should be recruiting, and that is the main reason why I continue to be a recruiter to date. After doing this for almost about a decade, just to hear a phone call or get an email from a candidate saying, oh my God, you changed my life, I got an amazing job I love, or I relocated to a different state, or a founder calling me saying, we just hired the rock star and they 10x what we initially thought the best person was capable of. There's no better feeling in the world. So really ask yourself, why do you want to be a recruiter? And what are you really excited and passionate about? Because that's going to be the main reasons to hold you in this career and industry when things get tough, as with any job. If you're really not passionate and you really have no interest and you're just really focused on the money, that's fine. Recruiting can be a fantastic career for you too. But when things get tough, it's just honestly going to feel like more of a drag, more like an obligation and a job, rather than something you wake up and you feel energized and excited about. So make sure you do it for the right reasons. Next, you want to also just learn the basics and continue your education. What do I mean by that? You want to really gain like a solid understanding of recruitment basics, including like sourcing, screening, interviewing, hiring, sourcing. What does that mean? Using all the different tools to find candidates, screening, the conversations that you have with the talent to make sure they're a good fit, interviewing management, sending your candidates to the interviews, managing that whole process, and ultimately hiring, negotiating, closing, start date, benefits, all that stuff. You want to familiarize yourself with recruitment tools and platforms like ATS, CRMs, job boards, social media. While some recruiter job description mentions a college degree, many waive this requirement for candidates with experience or strong interpersonal skills. When people ask me what sort of previous experience will help me find success in recruiting, my answer is always the same. Whether it's personal, people, customer service experience like restaurants, teaching, people who really care and communicate with a lot of different types of people, and students of all ages, people who have sales or entrepreneurial experience prior. They know exactly what failure means, putting in that work, putting in the reps, starting from scratch every week and every month. This is particularly important for those who want to be on the staffing side or those who one day want to work for themselves. Again, communication, verbal, written, listening, time management, all of these are really, really important because we're constantly juggling clients, candidates, all these different types of jobs at the same time, all these different candidates that are interviewing at different stages at the same time. You got to make sure you're organized and you have really strong skills. Again, bachelor's degree in any field is beneficial, but it's not a prerequisite, especially in 2024 moving onward. And skills and experiences are often more important than specific qualifications, as I alluded to before. You want to just continue to learn the company business, like develop a deep understanding of the company's business to build confidence with hiring managers. You also want to know the company really, really well that you're thinking about applying to, because that will essentially allow recruiters to really match candidates to be able to sell and pitch their vision to the talent more effectively. And of course, you want to continue to advance and invest your knowledge in recruiting as well. What are some ways that you can do that? You can engage in continuous learning, books, podcasts, industry-related resources. You can attend web shops, webinars, professional certifications like PHR, SHRM, CP to enhance HR knowledge, utilize both offline and online methods and channels, follow recruiting-based podcasts, YouTube channels, any sort of resource to gain insights from influential talent acquisition leaders. You want to connect with influential talent recruiters on LinkedIn as well to observe their practices and ideas, network with other recruiters that can only broaden your perspective. And you also want to consider shadowing experienced recruiters whenever you can, or engage in some sort of mentorship program to gain an edge or to learn as much as you can. The next is you want to really also understand the different types of recruiting positions, as there are many. And while there are a ton out there, let's only focus on a certain few here, right? Narrowing down what kind of recruiting you want to do can also help you specialize in specific skill sets, but also help you point in the right direction on what sort of jobs you want to apply for. Headhunter, it's pretty synonymous with many other titles out there. You basically work for a staffing or headhunting agency that fills a variety of positions. It's our jobs to find qualified candidates for these different variety of roles. You got executive recruiters. Recruiters are specialized in executive roles, IT roles, sales, specialized sales roles. Or maybe you want to go the corporate internal. You want to work on the TA, talent acquisition, or recruiting team at a one company brand like Google, for instance, and you want to find talent for them. Or you want to go on the external staffing side where you're going to have your own book of business, a lot of different clients, and you can talk to a lot of different types of candidates, and then you place all those open roles. So it's very horizontal while you're working with a lot of different types of companies, while corporate is very like vertical, very deep in one company where you're entrenched and you're buying into the whole singular mission, vision, purpose of the company. Again, this is from ZipRecruiter, but we saw that entry-level recruiting salaries start from $36,000, which is the 25th percentile, to $47,500, which is the the 75th percentile. Top earners make about 55 annually across the US. Also, keep in mind that when it comes to staffing, there's also bonus or commission as well. And so we're seeing a lot of different iterations and combinations of, maybe 40 to 60, 40 to 70, plus some sort of percentage or performance bonus on top of that, drastically increasing your all-in compensation expectations or range. Next, you want to identify and develop skills that would be helpful for you, be a recruiter. You want to highlight transferable skills you learned in past jobs that you can bring along and find success as an entry-level recruiter. Transferable skills are an employee's abilities that can be used in a number of jobs. And what are some examples that come to mind? Well, some could be maybe the ability to communicate, solve unexpected problems, works well in teams. These skills overall will make sure that you do really well and you're well-rounded in your skills. So whether you worked in sales or customer service, you want to make sure that you have transferable skills as much as you can to be able to leverage and find success in recruiting. Recruiting is very people-oriented, a lot of communicating, a lot of basic time management, a lot of, Microsoft Office or Gmail Suite. So whatever tangential or relevant skills or secondary skills you have to those that you've done in the past can be really, really helpful when you find and kick off your career as a recruiter. Recruiter skills include soft skills, include hard skills, and technical skills that are relevant to your specific niche or industry. Again, some examples of key skills can be your sales expertise, your communication skills, time management organization, recruitment analytics. What are some others? You got directing and managing, perhaps mentoring. You got building network of candidates, building and driving that database, interviewing prospective candidates, managing candidates' expectations or customer service, customer support, leading planning sessions, participating in hiring events, setting KPIs, goals. Whatever that you've done that's semi-relevant in your previous jobs, that could be really great and valuable to your recruiting job. The next thing you want to do is start networking. Again, embrace and use all tools and channels that you can. Leverage your existing network and connections. Reach out to people in the industry, not just for job opportunities, but also to gain insight and advice and just be a sponge and absorb all of that. Attend industry events, great, fantastic offline mixers, join relevant online communities, social media, participate in discussions to expand your network. Again, theme here is expanding your network and just learn as much as you can. Create a compelling professional LinkedIn profile that showcases your skills and experiences. Connect with recruiters in the industry. Express your eagerness to learn, seek, shadow, whatever you can to learn as much as you can from a first-hand account. The next thing you want to do is really, really important. You want to choose between agency, in-house, recruitment, or entrepreneurship. Understand the difference between them and decide which path aligns better with your career goals and preferences. Research each option to make an informed decision. Just FYI here, if you are someone looking for an entry-level recruiting job right now, most of the jobs are going to be on the agency side. Most people start on the agency side like me and work their way up and stay in the agency side like me, or they move to the in-house. Either way, it's fantastic because if you start your career in the agency world, it is very sales-oriented. You're going to learn so much important skills from cold outreach to time management to communicating to developing confidence. You can leverage that to whatever you're doing for the rest of your career, whether it's further on the agency side, whether it's something entrepreneurial, whether it's corporate internal. I think the skills and foundation that you'll bring, you'll be able to develop and leverage is going to be absolutely priceless. Entrepreneurship, you can start, of course, anytime. It's the highest risk, but the highest reward. But like with any business, you always want to start a business that you know really, really well. So make sure you get a job and stick at it for at least 3 to 5 years before you're like, wow, recruiting's for me. And oh my God, maybe I can kind of do this myself. Same thing with the corporate side, right? No need to do cold turkey and use all your savings and start a recruiting business with no experience and no previous relevant experience or tools as well. Be smart with your career. You can start recruiting part-time. You can also go full-time at a job first, learn the ropes, learn everything, and then you make the jump. Or you can just do cold turkey, but I wouldn't recommend it as it's the most stress and the highest risk possible pathway that you can do. Lastly, if you're looking to get in, you want to try to find internships, shadow experiences, mentorships, or entry-level positions as much as you can. You want to look for recruitment agencies or companies offering entry-level positions, as I mentioned before. Focus on agencies that align with your interests, like engineering, tech, healthcare, entertainment. Also look for ones that offer compensation that matches your expectations, whether you're okay with commission only, or you want some sort of commission salary hybrid, or maybe you want full-time salary only, or maybe you want in-office or remote. There's options for everybody. You want to also tailor your application material to emphasize your achievements, skills, and passions for the recruiting field to get that interview so that you can crush it and you can get that job. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Quick question for you all. What sparked your interest in pursuing a career in recruiting, and how do you plan to leverage your existing skills for success in the field? Everyone joins recruiting in so many different ways. I never even heard of recruiting, didn't even know what recruiter was before my first interview and my first job. Now, almost 10 years in, this industry was a complete life changer, and I can't wait and really love to share, educate, and inspire others who are in this field or who are looking to come into this field. It's always a good time to come into recruiting. The industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry and it's continuing to grow year after year. So if you like this video, please give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. Don't forget to pick up some awesome merch for yourself while supplies last, and I'll see you on the next one.